How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for Farming Simulator 22 on the mod map Cow Farm. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome to the Cow Farm and Cow Farm Extreme. We are talking about an unrealistic map where I tried to make as much dairy farming and every other animal as possible. Basic cow farm, which can be found 20 plots of land. There are small and large lands. Basic animals, 3,500 cows, 2,000 sheep, basic plants, BGA, even lighting is available. You can also find a forest and a natural water source too. Cow Farm Extreme. Welcome to Cow Farm Extreme, which is an expanded version because there are now huge lands on it. 15 larger lands, basic animals, 2,000 sheep, 3,500 cows, almost 3,000 pigs. Basic plants, many products for sale at the points of sales, forest, natural river, etc. There are high performance machines. There has been a change made to this map, and it is changelog 1.0.0.6, and it says, I have made all important buildings on the map for sale. In the extreme version, I have removed all of the bushes that run through the fields. Minor improvements, a new save game is required. This map was created by ABT Frankie Y and is 192.84 megabytes to download. There are no mods required for this map, and if we take a look at it, this is what the map looks like. You start all the way up here, kind of in the northeast corner of the map. You start out by owning farmlands number 19, 20, 30, and 32. All areas of this map is buyable, which is very nice. We do start with some animals and some pens and pastures, as you can see here. You start out with a pigsty, sheep barn, cow barn, and 2 horse barns. So you got a good range of animals that you can kind of tend to on this map. Contracts are available. There are no production chains to start out with, and there are no collectibles, as you can see here. Now, one thing I want to do real quick is kind of show the range of the different farms and pastures, or farms and fields. So let's start with this one, farmland number 29, 673,000. You've got 485,000, 328. So it's pretty expensive. There's no real good kind of expanding plots that you can kind of pick up on and really kind of roll into it. You've got to have a good chunk of money to really kind of start out with. But you can see it just, yeah, there's really just no good starting one. This looks like the smallest one. It's still $125,000. So very, very expensive. It's going to cost a lot. This kind of outer periphery with the river included is over 6 million, 6.1 million. You've got a farm land number 2 here, 1.7 million. This includes one of your cow barns here and the land within it. So if you want to be able to come in here and mow the grass and do anything in there, you're not going to be able to until you own that land for almost 2 mil. So that's kind of a bummer. There's going to be a lot of work to be done on this map. Let's see. Under the buy menu, if we take a look, there are mods specific to this map. And if we take a look under Cow Farm, you can see we have a couple of Grimmy products here. We got the normally it's a, I believe it's a sugar beet harvester, but it's been modified to also do potatoes. You've got this conveyor belt here. I'm not sure what's exactly modified about it. We've got the Ropa Tiger here. That's been modified to be able to accept not only its base, which I think is sugar beets, it can also accept potatoes, and it has 2 different headers. One will accept potatoes, the other will accept sugar beets. And then we have this one here, the Silo King. Looks like the capacity has been increased to 120,000, so you'll be able to make quite a bit of TMR with this little machine right here. And then under the build menu, if we take a look at that, under sheds, you can see we do have a couple items here. Nothing under the rest of the tabs for the buildings. If we look under productions, there is the biogas plant here that's modified for this map. Nothing else under these tabs for productions. And there is nothing under animals, decorations, or landscaping. So it's pretty basic on this part of the mod specific for this map. So we do start here at the starting farm, so let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Under the Buy menu and Owned Items, under Large Tractors, we have a Claas Axia 930 TerraTrack, a Fendt 1038, and a Case Maxim 340 CVX drive. Under Trucks, we have the Mack Anthem 6x4 MP8 505. Harvesters, we have a Claas Lexion 8900 and a Case Axoflow 9250. Animals, we have the Stroutman Vertimax 1702 SF Double. Under Telehandlers, the Claas Scorpion 1033. Cars, we have the Lizard Pickup 1986. Trailers, we have the Load King Distinction Triple Hopper, as well as the AgriLiner MUK 303. We have, under Headers, the Claas Conveyor Belt Flex 1380, as well as the Case 3162 TerraFlex Draper 45 foot. Under Corn Headers, we have a Capello Diamet 12, as well as the Claas Corio 1275C. Stone Pickers, the Alho Scorpio 550. Under Plows, the Kverneland PW 112. Cultivators, the Rosselmash K 12200. Disc Arrows, we have a Pottinger TerraDisc 1001 or 10001 T and a Kokerling Rebel Classic 600T. Under Subsoilers, the AgriSim Cultiplow Platinum 8 meter. Seeders, we have the Amazon Citan 15001C, as well as the Vaderstad Rapide A800S. Under Rollers, we have the Dalbo Mega Roll 2430. Fertilizer Spreaders, the Bradell K105. Telehandler Tools, we have the Magsy Universal Bucket, Pallet Fork, and Bale Fork. And then lastly, a header trailer, the Nardi N6045. So if we bring up, and I just remembered I don't have all my stuff turned on. There we go. So starting here, if I turn around, right behind me is our pickup truck, as well as our wardrobe trigger and sleep trigger right here. And I'm going to go ahead and hop in the truck. And we're going to pull in here. And all the way over into the corner right here, this is the shop trigger. This is where we can purchase all of our items. And then right next to it, repair trigger. Couple of jet washes right here, power washers. We're gonna pull through here, back out and around to right here. And here we have one of our first animal pens. This is a horse barn. Can have up to 14 horses here. You have your feed right there. And over here, we have another horse barn. Again, 14 with feed right there. Now we're going to go hop back in the truck, make our way around. Okay, and then here we'll make a right. And you can see right here, this is where it really kind of starts getting interesting. So, you have your telehandler tools and telehandler itself over here. Bunch of starting off material here. You got some grass. I believe this is more grass next to it. Whoa, hey, what happened there? Grass, yep, right next to it. Silage and straw. So you're pretty good right off the bat to be able to handle your cows over here. You got a big bunker silo right here. You have a manure pit in the back with some more of your tools right there. Slurry pit right there. Now see, this is where I'm kind of confused. Normally, right here would be where the milk trigger is. But what I'm not sure about is this the milk trigger? But if you come over here, it says milk on the side of this. So I don't know if there's like a missing trigger over here, or if that's intended to be the actual milk trigger and it's just the kind of stand-in. I don't know. Normally, straw will go right in here. And if we take a look, oh, there we go. You start out with 1,060 cows out of 3,500. You have tons and tons of room to be able to expand your cows. Big Stroutman right there, input for your feed. And again, normally, you open up the backside here, you'd have the output for slurry, but again, that was on the other side. So now, I'm going to go ahead and hop back in the truck, head back towards the farm. Okay. From here, pull in here. Oops, yeah, we want to go through here. A couple more bunker silos right there. Okay. Over here, we have a couple of big old fuel tanks, so we'll be able to extract from here. We already have 25,000 liters in that one and this one, but you can, once you use some of it, load more into it, but because it's full, you can't do anything at the moment. Continuing on, we'll make a right. Okay. Here is a Karma 16 silo that has 27,000 liters of seed in it, a fertilizer silo with 35,000 liters of fertilizer, and a water point right here. And then hopping back in, we're going to drive straight ahead. Now this, right in front of me, is the grain mill sell point. And then right around the corner right here is our silo. And if we hop out right here, you have quite a bit of material already in this silo. 52,000 liters of oats, 45,000 liters of wheat, soybeans, barley, canola, corn. I mean, you've got tons. If you actually go into this pause menu and go into your prices per thousand, you can see your full list of all the various materials that you have. So quite a bit. You got seeds, you got quite a bit of milk already stored away, over 1,000 liters. You got straw, you got diesel. I mean, just, you got tons and tons of stuff here. So now, I'm going to head out this way. Going to head back to the back side here. Turn. Alright, and then back in here, you have a pig barn where you can have up to 2,500 pigs. Just tons and tons of pigs here. Feed can go in there, but with tons and tons of pig means tons and tons of feed. They're going to go through it very fast, so you're going to have a way to be able to produce it very quickly. Maybe even several ways of producing it very quickly, because they're going to churn through it quick. Slurry output right there as well. Now we're going to come back out of here. Then back here. There we go. Go through here. You have your sheep barn, where you can have up to 2,000 sheep. You already have 1,000 of them. And, I mean, just holy smokes, you're already going to be producing so much material. As you can see, been on this map for a little over an hour now, in game time, not in real time. And look at how much. We've got 1, 2, 3, almost 4. Oh, my goodness. I just cannot get over how quick you produce items in this. Almost 3,000, over 3,000 liters with a bit extra. That's just, it's insanity to me. Just insanity. So now, got to head all the way down this way. We're going to head out, continue towards the west. Gets a little bumpy over here, as you can see. Now be careful coming up here. If you're flying like I am right here, you might take a drink if you hit that the wrong way. Okay. Pull in here. Alright, so directly in front of me is the wool sell point. Over here, you have the grain mill south. This is another sell point right tucked in here. Over there is the bales sell point. And then over here is the animal dealer. Even though there's no reticle here, if I walk into that box, now I can actually do something. So, you can either purchase your animals from this location or at the pens and pastures directly. If you do that though, use those two methods, one of those two, you will incur a delivery fee. So, you saw how many cows you had. Now imagine spending $100 a head for each cow that you buy. Those are the adult cows. As you can see, let's load into them. Adults, $100. So 100 cows times, well, in this case, a little over 2,400 cows. You'll be spending tons and tons of money. So my recommendation, save that money by bringing an animal trailer to this location. Either lease it, buy it, whatever. Bring it to this location. Load your animals into that animal trailer and deliver the animals yourself. You'll save that money. It's going to take a little while for you to jet back and forth and deliver them to those pens and pastures, but you're going to save lots of money. Lots and lots and lots of money. Now, if you're not that concerned about, how much money you're spending, then hey, go nuts. You do you. But if you are still worried about the amount of money you can spend kind of thing, then that's kind of a good way to roll back the spending. So now we're going to head off in this direction. Again, slow down, slow down. Especially this one, because you're coming into it at an angle, and you hit those bumps right there as you're getting ready to approach the bridge. You're going to go right into the river. And I'm not going to say I did it, but I almost did it. Almost went into the water when I was doing my initial go-through. So, yeah, it was rather interesting. And we'll just leave it at that. An interesting experience. And what we'll do is we'll get to our next point of interest, and I will go ahead and stop and take a look at the map so everybody can see where we've been and what we've seen up to this point. Actually, you know what? We're almost to the end. I'll just do one full loop through once we get through this. Alright, so pulling off here. Now you can see right there, that is the farm shop sell point. Now, one thing I will mention is you can see all these kind of solar panels, wind generators, and some additional solar panels right there. I don't know that if you purchase this land, if all of a sudden you get that as your generators kind of thing, but you can see Farmland 27 here. You can purchase it for $93,000, and you might be able to get some extra income by doing it. So that's a maybe, I'm not sure, but something to keep in mind. Alright, now coming up here, you can see directly in front of me is the biogas plant. Big bunker silo off to our right. And you can purchase this for 1.1, almost $1.2 million. Pretty up there. You've got solid input here, liquid input here, liquid output is done right here, aka our digestate. And now we're going to come over here. I think it's right. No, where is it? There it is. This particular gate kind of blends in with everything else, but you'll find it eventually. If we come around the back side over here, let's see, wait a minute. Oh, I did miss something. Sorry about that. We're gonna, whoa, fence. I want to get my notes in order. Okay, yes, passed right past this. This over here is the sawmill. This is a production point. Purchase this for $100,000. You have your inputs right here with your wood cell trigger right here, and your outputs right here. Over behind it though, right next to it, this is the bale cell point. Bale cell point. And now going on to our last point of interest, which is where I was heading to first, is the grain elevator east. And that is it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the map and show everywhere where we've been. So we started right here in front of our starting house, right here. Went into the yard, through here to see the vehicle shop as well as the repair trigger. Came back out, went and saw the horses. Came up and around to see the cows and the manure pit. Came back through, where was it? Yeah, down here we saw the couple of gas tanks right here, the fuel tanks. Then we pulled in here, we saw the Karma 16 as well as the stainless steel fertilizer tank and the water tank. We then came over here, we saw the grain mill, and then finally the silo. We came back up to here around the back side here and saw the pigs, up and around again to see the sheep. We then came back down here over to here, right along field 12, then in between 15 and 11 here. Came down here, we saw the wool cell point, down to here, the grain mill south, bale cell point, and the animal dealer. We then came up and around right next to the forest there, in between 17, 15, up and around again. We saw the farm shop cell point up to here to the grain mill, biogas plant, over to here where we saw the sawmill and bale cell point, and then finally here at the grain elevator east. So that is the map. That is Cow Farm. Now we're to the point of rendering my opinion and what do I think of this map. And I'm, well, 0 to 5 scale as usual. And I'm not going to mince words. I'm not a huge fan of this map. Unfortunately, this one really kind of misses the mark for me. I know this is based on unrealistic standards. It's just kind of a map that was just developed kind of thing. And the reason that I'm not a huge fan of it is because of how unrealistic it feels. There's something about it that just really kind of I don't know. Like it just I know it's unrealistic, and it just feels unrealistic. So it doesn't make me want to put the effort into it to really kind of do anything to kind of build up. And there's really not a whole lot to build up to. That's the kind of, I think, the biggest thing that kind of sticks with me is when you're playing this, you've got 1,000 cows, so you're producing tons of milk already. You've got over 1,000 sheep, so you got a ton of wool already. And it's just one of those that you're really just kind of more maintaining things, and yeah, you have room to grow, but not really room to grow. So it's kind of an odd one to me because okay. So one thing that kind of sticks out to me is the way like the starting farm here is, that because there's no real like rhyme or reason, quote unquote, to the map. It's built out for unrealistic gameplay. Um, the farm, normally when you go to a farm, like if you actually go to a farm in real life, or if you go on a farm like that has been built on Farming Simulator or whatever, and you take a look around and you can see that everything is very kind of purpose built. And what I mean by that is you have farms that will be like very meticulously designed as to how they're going to utilize the space. And it's like you especially see this in like UK farms where you've got very tight areas, so you can't really build much onto them. You can only do so much. For example, the Balham Road dairy farm. They released the map here recently. I know that's based off a real life map over in England, I believe, and or I'm sorry, real life place over in England, a real life dairy farm. And if you go onto it, you can see just like there's a lot of areas that are just really tight. There's very little room to work, but each item, each barn, each component has been purposely built and thought out to be like, okay, this is going here because we need, X, Y, and Z. It's something that's going to fill a purpose. But when I'm going around the farm, or specifically around here, it seems chaotic. Like it's just boop, 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 boop. Everything's just kind of placed there, and it's there to be useful, but not there to be practical. And again, that's probably the more unrealistic aspect of this map. So it kind of just really kind of breaks my ability to get immersed into the map. But all that being said, it's I understand that it's because it's purpose built and it has its reason to be built. It's just for me personally just misses the mark. And again, this is just constructive criticism. It has nothing to do with anything like trying to be mean or anything like that. I want to make sure that I couch that very, very quickly and say that these are just how when I come onto the map, that those are the things that I specifically look for, and this is just one that just kind of really misses it for me. But all that being said, like I was saying before, 0 to 5 scale as usual, I would probably give this a 2, probably somewhere in the ballpark of a 1.5 to 2. Just simply because of how I'm down here, and this feels really nice. Like down here, you got these kind of little creeks, these rivers. I mean, really, they're kind of culverts, to catch any drain runoff and whatnot, and keep them off the field. But this looks actually really nice. You come down here to this portion of the map, and it feels like it could actually be something, could be somewhere. But then you come here to the center and to any part other than this, and it just feels just false. It just feels like it's not meant to be. But maybe it's just I'm kind of unable to let myself get into that kind of headspace of, yes, this is supposed to be unrealistic, it's supposed to be this way, and it's just kind of hard for me to let that part go. I don't know. But yeah, 1.5 to 2, somewhere in that ballpark. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.